What's up guys, my name is ESO and welcome back to the channel. I am so excited to bring you today's video because I'm going to go over 10 survival themed mods that will literally change the way you play Skyrim forever. And these mods will work for Skyrim Special Edition and also for the normal Skyrim as well. Playing with these mods installed is like playing a new game. If you install these mods, you'll really have to think and plan about how you play the game. But it's definitely a lot of fun. And I've actually found a very easy way that you can install these mods. Even if you're completely new to modding, it will be very easy for you. Just click the link in the description and it will take you here. Then just press download and you'll see this in the bottom left corner. It's downloading the mod drop client. Once you've downloaded it, just go ahead and double click it and that will start the installation process. And then just quickly make an account using your email address. Or you can log on with Gmail or Facebook or even your Twitch account. I'm just going to make a new account to show you guys what to do. So just verify your email and then you can start using mod drop. So this is the screen you'll see once you start using mod drop. So all you need to do now guys is go to find friends and then search for my username, which is ESO. And you'll see me just here, ESO. So add me as a friend and I'll accept that. And then if you click on my profile icon just here, and then you go to library, then you'll see you can actually see what my mods are. So now depending if you want the mods for Skyrim or Skyrim Special Edition, just find the appropriate game, and I want them for Skyrim Special Edition, so I'm going to press view. And then you'll see here it's got a mod pack called Ultimate Survival, and this has 10 mods which I'm about to show you in this video. But you're literally going to click subscribe just here. So subscribe to that. And then if I click info, it will load that mod pack. And these are all the mods that I have in this mod pack. So now if you come here and you press install, then it will install them all instantly on your computer. You don't need to do anything else. The game will be ready to play and it won't crash or anything because I've made sure all of these mods work together. I will also be making more mod packs in the future for things like followers, graphics, combat, and lots of different stuff. And all these mod packs will be listed just here underneath the related games. So you can go ahead and literally just install my whole mod list if you want. I'm currently in the process of making it for you. But as you can see, you can install all of these mods at one time and then you can uninstall them if you ever get bored of playing with the survival setup that I've made for you guys. And you don't need to do anything else. That's it. It's ready for you to play right now. So let me go over each mod that you'll be using. So the first mod included in this mod pack is the Campfire Complete Camping Setup by Chesco and also Frostfall, and these two mods work together. But let me first explain how the camping system works. Firstly, at the tanning rack you can craft a backpack, a tent and some camping equipment that you need to survive in the wild. You also need to go to the forge and make yourself an axe to chop some firewood and also a cooking pot to cook some food. Once you're in the wilderness, just use your tent and it will automatically allow you to place it. I've made a 2-man leather tent because this region of Skyrim is quite wet and I also want to fit my follower in it. Now go into your magic spells and select resourcefulness. Once selected, just press the shout button to use it and you'll be able to build a fire. Choose between quick and realistic. Realistic, which I like to use, basically lets you physically build the fire using kindling to start off with. Kindling can be sticks, rolls of paper or even some tree bark that you can scavenge. And then to actually physically start the fire, you'll need to use either fire magic or some flint, the good old fashioned flint. If you use flint, it will probably take you a few seconds to actually start the fire depending on how skilled you are at fire making. By the end of this video you'll probably feel like you're playing RuneScape. But if it happens to be raining, it's obviously going to take you longer to start the fire using flint. Once the fire is lit though, you can warm up and you can also cook some food supplies next to it. Cooking food at the fire will become much more important later on. Once it's burning though, you can add some more wood supplies to it to make the fire burn for longer. And when it says it's burning for 1 hour, that means 1 in-game hour, not 1 hour in real life. Once you've got the hang of gathering supplies and figuring out how the building fire mechanic works, you can start the second mod, which is Frostfall. To start this mod, just go to your powers and equip Frostfall options. Now just use the shout button and it will start. You'll also get a book added to your inventory, which is a guide on how Frostfall works. Basically, the point of Frostfall is to not die from hypothermia. So now you have something called exposure. As you get colder, your exposure increases, and when your exposure reaches a maximum, you'll actually lose consciousness and reawake elsewhere. So you can't physically die, you'll just get transported somewhere else in the game and you'll wake up there. So now wearing things like fur clothing in the snowy regions of Skyrim instead of Daedric or steel armour will actually keep you a lot warmer for longer, but at the cost of your defense. If you keep an eye on the top left corner, the game will actually update you if you're freezing or like you're really cold and you need to go inside or make a fire and warm yourself up. It's quite hard to begin with, but you will get used to it after some time. If it's raining and it's like really stormy weather, you can also get wet, or even by swimming in a river. And as you'd expect, being wet means you can get colder quicker, so it's important to dry yourself off and warm up completely at the campfire after a big storm. You can reduce how quickly you get wet by wearing leather armour. Certain types of armour have a better coverage than others, which means they keep the rain off. If you guys want a full sort of like let's play tutorial on Frostfall, then let me know down in the comments. If enough of you want that, then I'll definitely do it, because it's quite a big thing to cover in a small mod video. But next up we have mod number 3, Wet and Cold. A simple mod that gives you a visual change to when your character and the people around you are wet or cold. So for example, if you jump in a lake and then come out again, you'll be dripping with water because you're wet. And if you're in the north of Skyrim, you'll actually be able to see your breath because it's so cold. And also in blizzards, you'll actually get slowed down 15%, and you might even temporarily get like blinded by the blizzard. Even NPCs will now flee for cover and actually go inside when it's snowing or raining. So it's quite immersive. And obviously it works really well with Frostfall because now it's visual when you're wet or you're cold. The next mod, which is mod 4 and 5, are both cloak mods, made by Nazen and Navia. This basically adds fur cloaks and also cloaks for each holder of Skyrim. So for example, the Whiterun guards now have their own cloaks, and so do the Imperial Legion and the Stormcloaks. These cloaks all have their own warmth values as well. So if you have a fur cloak versus a normal cloak, you'll obviously be warmer. You'll also now be able to craft armoured fur hoods at the tanning racks. Next up, for mod number 6, we have I Needs. This mod will actually make it so you need to eat, drink and sleep. The game will tell you in the top left whether you're hungry or thirsty or tired, and how hungry or thirsty or tired you are, or even if you're starving. So you will now be able to craft water skins at a tanning rack. You can make several water skins and then you can fill them all up at city wells or by standing in large bodies of water when you're out in the open countryside. You can also buy drinks from shops as well. Where you actually sleep in the game will dictate how much rest you get and how fatigued you are. So for example, if you slept at an inn, then you'd get a really good night's sleep and you'd get a buff to your experience. But if you slept in a dungeon, then you might have had a pretty bad night's sleep. If you keep your character healthy, you actually get some buffs to your health, your stamina and your shout cooldowns, and lots of other cool things that you can see if you look in your active effects. But if you don't, if you're like running around starving and like sleep deprived, then you obviously get negative effects. I actually found it quite a rewarding system that like made me want to eat food and actually have a sleep and sort of plan my journey around what I was doing. The mod also works really well with Frostfall because obviously you can add a cooking station to your campfire and you can eat hot soups and teas, which will actually make you warmer and make you more resistant to the cold. Next up though, for mod number 7, we have Hunterborn. This overhauls the hunting in Skyrim and turns it into its own sort of mini-game profession. So you can now kill, skin and butcher animals. When you first start hunting, it will take you a while to actually complete this process because the game thinks you're a novice hunter and you've never hunted before. But as you keep on hunting, you'll get better and faster, and you'll also be able to recover higher quality pelts and more bounty from your kills. So the mod adds over 40 new alchemy ingredients that you can harvest from animals with different effects. It also works really well with the other mods I've mentioned in this video and adds a new aspect of fun and rewarding sort of element to hunting, which I think is really cool. For the 8th mod though, we have Wearable Lanterns by Chesco. A simple but effective mod that allows you to walk around with lanterns or even bugs in a jar tied to your waist. So now you'll actually be able to see in dungeons and also see when you're running around at night time if you're using both of your hands for combat spells or spell casting, or even you have a bow. This mod is specifically useful if you're using a Darker Nights mod. I've not actually included a Dark Nights mod as part of this mod pack, but you're welcome to use one if you think it's more immersive. You can craft a lantern at the forge and you'll get lantern oil from shopkeepers. Usually the general stores will sell them to you. Your follower will also wear lanterns as well, so both of you can see where you're going. The final two mods though go hand in hand. Firstly, we have the Disable Fast Travel by Lego Man I Am 94. This removes the ability to fast travel, and you can choose not to install this mod if you don't want to, but personally I think if you're embracing the survival mode, why not go all the way? You'll now rely more heavily on carriages and ferries around Skyrim, and you're going to be using your horse a lot more often as a way of getting around quicker. To help you out though, for the final mod, we've got Horse Whistle by Iscariot. I think that's how you say that person's name. Basically it adds a new power in the game, and it's a bit like a shout which lets you whistle for your horse. It will now appear right next to you after using the ability, so obviously it makes it easier when you're getting around after exploring a dungeon. You can just call your horse and then travel onwards. So as I said before guys, you can install all these mods with the click of a button, and they can also be uninstalled with the click of a button, using the mod drop system. I'd also appreciate it if you like the mod pack I've made here and suggest this video to your friends if you want them to get into modding Skyrim easily. Because I know modding can seem like quite a daunting aspect of the game, but it brings so much fruitful flavour when you're playing, and I think this is the easiest way I've ever found of doing it. I'm going to start making lots of Skyrim modding videos for combat, followers, graphical overhauls, and also like the best sort of weather mods and immersion mods to have, and they're obviously going to work really well together. I'll link that mod playlist down below in the description if you're interested in checking it out. If you really did like this video though guys, please make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the little bell icon just next to the subscription button. This will then mean that YouTube notifies you whenever I make a new Skyrim modding video. You can also keep up to date with my Facebook and Twitter accounts, which are linked down below in the description. But thanks very much for watching guys, hope this helps you out, and I will see you in the next one.